Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It's Wednesday, September 3rd. The Pittsburgh Steelers have their first full practice session of week one at UPMC Rooney Sports Complex today, right over there. They had a bonus practice on Monday, but their first real session today, and they appear to be fairly healthy, as Derek Harmon, the only player ruled out, will be monitoring the status of outside linebacker Nick Herbig if he's able to return to practice this week and get into this week one game. I want to talk about the thing that everyone is talking about at the beginning of the season as we come into week one here, and that is the outlook for the season, where things stand for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And am sensing in the fan base a strange lack of optimism. This time of year, every team's fans are rationally overconfident about how good they're going to be. Everyone thinks they're way better than they are. And I'm not sure what it is about the Steelers offseason. It's certainly been different, and unlike their normal off seasons, that has left people not feeling that way about this team. And I think it's very interesting that, normally as a member of the media, I operate as like a break, right? I'm like, oh, slow down a little bit. Just hold on. They're not going to the Super Bowl yet. And I feel like this year, like last year, if you all are longtime members of the audience, you remember last year I was, I was trying to hold people back, man. It was difficult. There was a lot of excitement. And I said, no, this team is like a 9 or 10 win team. That's what they have. And this year, I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like this team is good enough to win 10 or 11 games. I'll make my full prediction later this week at SteelersNow.com. But I still see a lot of doom and gloom about the way this team is going. And I just don't see it. I think they've made some of the most exciting additions in franchise history. And guys like Jalen Ramsey, DK Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I think they're going to be pretty darn good, and I'm confused by why so much of what I see about this team online every day is still so negative. They're in a really good place. They're in a good place, not just this year, but they didn't sell short any of their future to get here. They're still, in the middle of a big rebuild, but man, there's a lot of young guys on this team to be excited about too. Guys like Derek Harmon, guys like Troy Fautanu, Keanu Benton, Joey Port. Like the list kind of goes on. I'm a little mystified why a lot of people seem to be very still negative and upset about where this team is right now. I think when you look at the way they ended last season, Mike Tomlin promised some change. Boy, did he ever deliver on that. More offseason changes I can ever remember a Pittsburgh Steelers team having, but also keeping with the big picture plan. And I'm not really sure what, if not that, people were looking for, because I think it's been a pretty good offseason for the Steelers, and I think they're in pretty good shape. When you compare them to some other AFC playoff teams or borderline AFC playoff teams, I like what they've done. I mean, the Bengals did eventually get all of their business done. It was messy. I don't like their draft class as much. They're really talented. I don't think they're going to sweep the Steelers. The Dolphins had an awful offseason. The Bills are, scraping the bottom of the barrel to get Gabe Davis here. They're not in any better shape than the Steelers are in a lot of positions. Obviously, they have Josh Allen, but I think 1 through 22, the Steelers roster is better. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just confused by the negativity, and think this is a pretty good Steelers team. This is one of the better Steelers teams that I've seen put on this field in my time on this beat. I mean, the 2020 team ended up winning 11 games in a row. It was a total fluke. We all kind of knew they weren't that good. I think on paper, this team is better. I think this is the best team they've had since pre-Ben elbow injury, probably. Now, it's a tough schedule. They're not going to win 15 games, but I think they're in a really good place to go and win some games and get to the playoffs and have the kind of team that can actually do something when they get there, which is something that has been lacking the last few years. So I don't know. Just let me know what you guys are feeling. Like I said, I'll have my full prediction later this week, but you can feel free to leave yours here in the comments. And I don't know. Let's talk about it, because I'm not sure why people are so down on what this team has done so far. I think they're in pretty good shape. All right, that's it for today. Practice coming up. Me and Smitty and Julian Pelusi on Afternoon Drive today. And then don't forget the debut episode of Steelers Night Shift with myself and Joe Morrison tonight live here on the YouTube channel. Also be on Twitter. Might be some other places if we can figure out how to get it there live at 8 p.m. tonight. So stay tuned for that as well. Until next time, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching and enjoy.